Popular sci-fi franchises are set to collide as breakout Stranger Things star Joseph Quinn joins the upcoming prequel to A Quiet Place, which is currently in development. While I'm usually skeptical of prequel films in general, I can't help but feel intrigued about this addition to the Quiet Place universe. In this video, I'd like to break down what we know so far about A Quiet Place Day 1 and discuss why I'm starting to get excited for this prequel installment and the future of this new, ever-expanding franchise. A Quiet Place made its theatrical premiere in 2018. The story was written by Scott Beck, Brian Woods, and John Krasinski, who also directed and starred in the production. The post-apocalyptic film followed the Abbott family and their daily struggle to survive after their world was decimated by the sudden and violent arrival of monstrous alien predators that hunt by sound. In a departure from other alien invasion movies, there was very little focus on the actual arrival of the aliens and humanity at large with their attempts to combat this new foe and survive. Rather, the scope of the invasion was limited to the viewpoint and experiences of one family. The mystery surrounding these Death Angels was a significant part of the plot, leaving audiences with burning questions regarding these predators and how humanity could possibly turn the tables and stave off extinction. The upcoming prequel film has already been in the works for a while. Based on an original story by John Krasinski, the spin-off project was first announced by Paramount Pictures in November of 2020. At the time, Jeff Nichols was set to serve as writer and director. However, in October of 2021, it was announced that Nichols was leaving the production to pivot to another project with Paramount. In January of 2022, Michael Sarnowski, who wrote and directed the Nicolas Cage film Pig, signed on as director and completed the rewrite of the film's script. The story of A Quiet Place first begins on day 89, after meteorites carrying the mysterious and violent alien predators known as Death Angels crash-landed on Earth. Audiences were thrust into this post-apocalyptic world following the Abbott family, seeing how they've adapted and have learned to live without making a sound. While certain aspects of these sightless aliens were revealed as the story of the two films unfolded, plenty of room remains for future installments to explore and expand upon this universe, especially in regards to the origin and life cycle of the Death Angels themselves. Exact plot details are still being kept under wraps, but as the title indicates, this prequel film will start on that cataclysmic day when the Death Angels landed and silenced the world. How society initially responded and adapted to the invasion and dealt with the continued presence of this predatory species will no doubt be a focus of the film. While the Abbott family was featured in the first two Quiet Place films, the prequel is set to follow others in their attempts to survive the initial onslaught by the Death Angels. As of the making of this video, only the film's 3 leads have been announced for the cast. Lupita Nyong'o from the Black Panther movies and the horror film Us was the first to be announced. Also joining the cast is Alex Wolff, previously from the films Pig, Hereditary, and Old. And finally, Joseph Quinn, following his breakout turn as Eddie Munson from Stranger Things Season 4, has also joined the cast as the 3rd lead. Each of the actors that have been announced have experience with the horror and suspense genre, and it will be interesting to see how the trio comes together in their struggle to survive Day 1 of the alien invasion. Filming officially began February of 2023, with John Krasinski taking to social media to announce the occasion and sharing a few photos from the set of the film. In one of the images, Krasinski is holding a clapperboard with the film's title written on it, as he's shown on set standing in front of a small-town city street. The other images show the film's director Michael Sarnowski with Krasinski and Lupita Nyong'o chatting on set. The caption of the tweet reads, "Requisite photo of Slate on day 1, this time with a twist. So honored to be there day 1 of A Quiet Place Day 1 with the maestro Michael Sarnowski and legendary Lupita Nyong'o. Cannot wait to see what magic they conjure in this one." This project has already seen a couple of delays in its release schedule, as it was originally set for a March 2023 premiere, before it was pushed back again to September 2023. and now it is officially slated to debut March 8, 2024. Now with filming well underway, it seems that the production is on a steady track and hopefully won't see any further delays. Though his story ideas are moving this franchise forward, this will be the first entry in the Quiet Place universe that won't see Krasinski in the director's chair, so it will be interesting to see what Sarnowski's experience brings to this new installment. The biggest contributor toward my excitement for A Quiet Place Day 1 is the fact that it isn't strictly a prequel, but rather a spin-off that follows different characters set in a different time period that has been virtually unexplored in prior entries. In fact, the limited scope of the story and perspective in the first two films are what I feel can free this project from the usual tired tropes of most prequel stories. Following the attempts of others to survive day one of the initial onslaught of the Death Angels offers a unique opportunity to expand this universe and further explore the nature of these vicious creatures. For instance, it's unknown how they reproduce, or if they are even able to do so on this planet. It's been established that they arrived on meteorites, not spaceships, which confirms that this was not a planned, coordinated invasion of Earth. However, the fact that the aliens haven't been observed eating any life form that they have killed seems to indicate they don't hunt other creatures for food. They attack only to silence their prey, which certainly raises the question of whether they are some sort of biological weapon. While I don't think this prequel film will serve to answer all of our burning questions, I expect that it will reveal much more about the early survival efforts of humanity, which could present opportunities for previously unseen and unique behaviors from the aliens. Ultimately, in this age of reboots, remakes, and reimaginings, I find it refreshing to see a new sci-fi franchise blossom before our eyes. A Quiet Place was a hit with critics and audiences as it harkened back to what made the pillars of horror and suspenseful sci-fi films so popular in the first place, avoiding an over-reliance on CGI or flashy visuals and instead focusing on well-written characters and their captivating story arcs. This, complemented by the employment of savvy filmmaking techniques, helped bring this unique take on the familiar post-apocalyptic genre to life. I only hope that this new spin-off continues with that same spirit of morally focused storytelling that made the original so special. But I'm curious to know what you think of A Quiet Place Day 1. Are you excited or concerned about this new addition to the franchise? Are there any particular elements from the first two films that you'd like to see more or less of in this new spin-off? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.